And welcome into Press Box Live. I'm Stan the Fan Charles, flying solo today. And with me is somebody that I got to interview a couple weeks ago for Drawing a Crowd, the business of sports tourism with Terry Hasseltine. And he is the executive director of the Governor's Cup uh, basketball tournament down in Wicomico County. And that is James Simmons. James, how are you, my friend?
Doing great. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Um, I imagine you are super, super busy. We interviewed you like 10 days ago in our studio in Baltimore. You must be really getting down to the wire now.
Yeah, these are pretty long days. This is, once we actually make it to the week of the event, we're kind of coasting and all the hard work is done by that point. But this week is my busiest week of the year. And throw on top of that Christmas coming and three kids and all that mix. It's a busy time. There's not enough hours in the day right now.
You should have a fourth kid by next year. That's my advice. Okay. Uh, James, we got a lot to talk about. The tournament is December 26th, which is next Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. 5 days, December 26th to the 30th. It's at five different locations down there. The main one being the Wicomico Civic Center, right? Or the
Yeah, yeah.
Salisbury Civic Center.
Wicomico Civic Center, yeah. So we'll
Wicomico Civic
host.
Center.
We have two courts in the Wicomico Civic Center. That's been our hub. That's where we get the majority of the attendees, and we try to get every single team through the Civic Center for at least a game, so they get to experience what that atmosphere is like. And then, yeah, Salisbury University is a new venue for us this year. We've been working out with them. Great partnership. University of Maryland Eastern Shore Division I facility.
That's great.
And then Wicomico High School across the street from the Civic Center. I can see it out my window. And then Salisbury Christian, a small school in town that has been a great host for us. All those facilities have been tremendous to work with and have really bought into what the event is.
Is that Butch's school?
Wicomico High School is, yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, Comico High is Butch Waller's school, who
Yep.
founded the tournament back in 1981. Tell me one thing about the tournament. If you come down there, it like, this is the first time we marketed with you. So you're going to have some people, I'm not saying droves, but you're going to have some people that heard about this for the first time and they're going to come down there.
I'm hoping Stan the Fan is bringing droves of fans to us. That's
Well,
our goal.
we'll see about that. We'll see about that. But I'm curious how they find where the games are. Can you explain that a little bit?
Yeah. So if you go to our website, govchallenge.org, we've got not only a map with all the locations that we play at, but also that detailed schedule. There's a couple different views of it. There's the master grid that is all 136 games laid out by day, time, and site. And then there's the actual brackets themselves and the showcase division. So you can see specifically if you really wanted to come see the top players in America, you're going to look at that elite showcase division and be able to see each day when and where those games are.
And all the venues you said were within like 10 miles of each other, with two or three of them walking distance from Wicomico Civic Center.
Yeah, the furthest away is 10 miles, and that's University of Maryland Eastern Shore from the Civic Center. I could throw a basketball across the street to Wicomico High School, and Salisbury University and Salisbury Christian are both just a few miles away from the Civic Center as well. So
Tell
it's
me,
all right here together in town.
tell us the best way for folks to get tickets.
Yeah. So if you, again, go to our website, govchallenge.org, all our ticketing information is there.
And is
All the
that is
schedules,
that
the
GUV or GOV?
GOV, I'm sorry. Yep.
GOV,
Yep.
govchallenge.org.
Correct. And you'll see all the schedule there. You'll see all the ticket options. We've got great general admission tickets, $15 for the day, and you can watch up to 14 games in a day at the Civic Center, or you could bounce around and go to different sites if you had a team you really wanted to see somewhere else. $8 for 12 and under. And then we've got some great packages as well for courtside tickets. We sell courtside tickets, and then we also have a VIP section on the baseline with recliners, and they get a free souvenir cup. They get free concessions out of it. There's a whole great deal there that that you can live large in the VIP section and watch some great basketball.
And if somebody comes down, the concessions are affordable and there's
Yeah.
plenty of them.
Yep, there's no shortage. We've got a great in-house concession stand here at the Civic Center, and they've got a wide variety on their menu. And then at all of our additional sites, one of our sponsors, Rita's Italian Ice and Philly Pretzel Factory, they have got a set up at every single one of our additional sites as well.
Awesome. Awesome. Games start at 10 in the morning, go to 10 at night. How many the teams are coming from all over the country and this year even Canada? How many games are they guaranteed to play?
It's a mix depending on what division they're playing in. So for the most part, the majority of them are playing 2 games.
Okay.
Maryland Public Schools, which is a huge base of our participation, they're only allowed to play 2 games over the holidays to fit their sanctioning. So the majority are playing 2 games. So we have a lot of 4-team brackets, almost 30 of those, where we'll have 30 different champions of the Governor's Challenge at various different levels of play. And then we've got some showcase divisions where we may have a team play 1 game. We may have a team play 3 games. It depends on where they're coming from, how far they're coming from, and what we need to do to make it work for them.
And there's a men's division and a women's division. 140 teams. Is it like 70 and 70, or is it 90 and 40?
It's a little closer
50,
to
90,
about
50.
100 on the boys' side, and then a
40.
little less than 40 on the girls' side. Yeah.
And I imagine that's increasing every year now a little
It
bit.
has been. It has
Yeah,
been. That's why we've added sites like Salisbury University, and we'll
gotcha.
continue to try to add sites to make sure that the girls' game is taking off. And we started the girls' side of the tournament much later on than 1981. It's been 10 years exactly, actually, since I added that to the event, and we started it just like the original event. We had 4 teams from around the state that came together for our first girls bracket, and that's just continued to grow, and there's no shortage of interest there.
Okay, that's really fascinating. You said when we talked before, there's a $3 million economic impact for the county, right? The
Yeah.
state and the county. What's in it for? Because I know that you can't be paying for schools to fly in and pay their hotels. What's in it for the players and the schools that participate in it? Obviously, there's a cachet now about playing in this tournament.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's really what our tagline has become is the best experience in high school hoops. And that's kind of what we hang our hat on. That's what we think about all year long, almost too much on our end. But it's really the hospitality that we bring to the table, the relationships that we've built with the coaches and the teams. My favorite thing is watching, a kid from any inner city Baltimore who plays in a little box of a gym. The second they get to walk in the back door, like they're in an NBA arena, and they turn the corner and walk in the arena, and their eyes are bugging out of their heads. Like that to me is why we do what we do, and we've built everything off of that. Really, is the experience that they get, and so for a good 85 to 90% of them, unless they're playing Power 4 Division 1 college basketball or winning a state championship in high school, this is going to be the peak of their athletic career. And we've seen that over the years, and we've seen the players come back, and a lot of our locals, they're here. They're still, on the sideline, even from 30 years ago, talking about when they played in the event or how much different it is now. And it's become this reunion, and really we've built it off of what experience we provide. And that looks like a lot of different things. We focus heavy. We've got someone dedicated to the team experience. We've got someone dedicated to the fan experience. We've got somebody thinking about how are we going to make a great experience for the referees even. So we try to take every facet of it and just build and create a great experience all around. And like I said, it looks like a million different things, but it could be barbers in the back for the players. It could be a recovery lounge for the players. It could be, just as simple as a ping pong table in the back, and engaging with them and having conversations with them. Our staff and our team that we've built has done a tremendous job over the years of just really building those relationships. And when those players are here and those teams are here, making them feel like they're at the Final Four. That's what we're trying to create, really. And that is why it's spread like wildfire, and why these teams are willing to come from across the country and get that great experience.
So tell us what the teams go through to raise the money. I know you're not intimately involved with it, but it's got to be a pretty
Yeah.
expensive endeavor to fly 12 kids, a coaching staff, and then, parents are going to come, but that's out of their pocket. But how do the
Yeah.
schools raise the money for this?
And a lot of coaching staffs look like 7 or 8 deep now as well.
Yeah, right.
There's quite a few people that are involved with programs. So it really depends on the level of play and where they're coming from. But some of those national programs that are playing in the Nike EYBL Scholastic League they are building their budgets far out. They've got investors in some of those schools that help cover what those expenses are for them. But on the pure varsity basketball level, if you look around the state of Maryland even and think about an inner city school from Baltimore or somebody out in Western Maryland or whatever, the busing that they're having to take to get here is an expense on them. The hotel
Yep.
rooms that they're having to cover is an expense. The restaurants and eating out and all those things. So it looks a little bit different for everybody. In some cases, they are doing fundraisers year round to be able to come and be a part of this as their holiday, and it's really a team bonding experience. And we have seen over and over and over again every single year the teams that play in this event go on and make deep runs in the state tournament, and a lot of them look back to us as like, this was our chance to play on that next level, the next level of competition. The arena atmosphere prepared us, all the accommodations prepared us. We were ready when the time came to play for a state title, because they played here and because they experienced, the level of competition and what it took here. And a lot of them, it was their team bonding. Like, you will see an immediate increase in their win total when they come out of this tournament and go back into regular season play. And there's so many of them over the years that have made runs, deep in the postseason or won the state championship. I think we had 7 or 8 this past year in like 6 different states that played in our event last year. And then it was a stepping stone for them, as they go on to make a state tournament run. So it's been really cool to watch and follow that over the years. But again, that fundraising effort, that's why they're coming back. They're seeing other schools have success here. They're seeing, the experience they get. They're seeing the level of competition. And we're pretty meticulous with the schedule. We track every single game and the point differentials, and we'll see year over year how close were the games. And Chris Jenkins, my right-hand man, that he is a savant with scheduling. I don't know how he does it. He's taken that role over from me over the years, and he does a phenomenal job of keeping up with the teams over the course of the year and really knowing what they've got, what level of competition they're playing, what they're even looking for in an event. And the way we piece all that together it's a beautiful thing to see it come together. And you see, we've had 4 overtimes, we've had 5 overtime games certain years where that matchup is just exactly right and what we were looking for.
All right. When we get back, I've got to take a minute break to talk about the Costas Inn. But when we get back, I want to feature some of the players that you know about that'll be in this tournament, because I understand it's a pretty high level, both on the men's side and the women's side. I'm talking to James Simmons. He's the executive director of the Governor's Challenge basketball tournament that takes place in Wicomico County at the Wicomico Civic Center and 5 other locations around the area. And it's coming up December 26th through the 30th. Go to govchallenge.org for information on how you can buy tickets, and also how you could volunteer to help out with the event. We'll continue with James in just a second. But first, I got to talk about something that's pretty special in the state of Maryland, too, and that is the Costas Inn. They've been located at the same location, 4100 North Point Boulevard, for over 50 years. I've known them for about 35 years. They've supported me when I did the Stand the Fan show. They've supported me since day one on PressBox, PressBoxOnline.com. I love the family. It's a family atmosphere. James talks about the tournament building a family atmosphere. They build it at the Costas Inn. They've got great nightly specials Monday through Friday. So sit there. You can sit there at the bar with 1 or 2 people, or grab a table for 12 or 18 people. They also have fantastic steamed crab, crab cakes, and crab soup. The Costas Inn, the website is costasin.com. The phone number to make your reservation for crabs, 410 477 1975. Back with James Simmons of the Governor's Challenge basketball tournament, high school basketball tournament, coming up December 26th to December 30th. A real holiday extravaganza down there in Wicomico County. Tell us a little bit about some of the players you know of that'll be here in this tournament. Are there some big
Yeah.
time? Are there some big timers that'll be at Division One as soon as next year?
Looking at some NBA lottery picks, I think, in a few cases. So yeah, there it is. This is our most loaded event as far as talent and ever. I've said it every year, it's better and better, but this is double what we've had in the past as far as those national programs and the high level. So if you look across recruiting rankings of various different sites, if you look in the top 30 in the country, regardless of their classes, and across all those classes, we've got 20 out of the top 30 players in the country that'll be here at the event. So the big name Arizona Compass coming in from Arizona, their best player Mika Murinen. He's a 6'11" forward that's actually from Finland originally, but they're projecting him as a lottery pick in 2 years, and he's got every blue blood program after him. Duke, UNC, Kansas, everybody's offered him. UConn, everybody's chasing him, and he is not committed anywhere yet. So I would expect to see some of those programs in the house to
You think
see him
You
he's on
think
the East Coast.
UMES will try and grab them?
You never know. We've been a pipeline for UMES over the years, bringing so many players to town. So you never know
That's
what.
a great. That must be a great story, side story. But go
Yeah,
ahead. So he's
yeah.
coming to
So
town.
Mika is probably the number one prospect in the event, but they've got 5 stars on their bench for Arizona Compass. So Caden House, the son of Eddie House, he and his twin brother are on the team. He's number 13 in the country, one of their guards. Davis Fogel is committed to Gonzaga from Arizona Compass. Their point guard's going to Texas A&M. They've got a starting 5 that is going to be at the highest level of Division I basketball next year. So they are a top-notch team and one that you definitely want to see. Some of the other top players, Caden Samuels from Bishop McNamara is top 15 in the country. From Penn Charter, one of the most entertaining teams I think people will see. Jake West is their point guard. He's a TikTok star. He's all over the internet and social media. We've got all kinds of young people around the area going crazy that he's going to be coming to the event and playing in the event. But he's committed to Northwestern. His running mate, he's got 2 running mates. One of their wings, Kai Shinholster, is committed to Minnesota, and then Matt Gilhool, who's one of my favorite players, I think, in the entire event, is their big man. They will play against Arizona Compass on December 30th, and that should be a matchup to watch. But Matt is an LSU commit, and I watched him single-handedly almost have a quadruple double in the DMV live event at DeMatha this summer, playing against DeMatha. He was unbelievable. So he's one of my favorites to watch. Southern California Academy, I'm a WVU alumni. They've got 2 WVU commits that I'm really excited about, Kelvin Odie and Trent McLean. But they just got a transfer in the other day, Tyler Jackson, who's a big Baltimore name, who they're expecting to maybe end up at Syracuse. But he's a top 50 player in the country. They've got other top players. That team is also pretty loaded.
Any players earmarked for Maryland in the tournament? On
Yes. So
the men's side or women's?
there's actually a couple that are committed that have transferred away. So
Okay.
Arizona Compass had one, Marcus Jackson, originally from Baltimore, that transferred away. But we fully expect to see Maryland and Kevin Willard and staff here with this amount of talent in their backyard, especially from the West Coast. This is the best chance for them to recruit that. So they've been close on a few other players that have ended up committing. There's 2, Cam Ward from Largo,
Yeah.
and then Jordan Scott from South Lakes in Virginia. Both of them have ended up committing to Tom Izzo and Michigan State. Both of them will play in the arena. I'd expect we may see some Michigan State staff here to see those guys as well.
That's
But on the
great.
guys' side, the other big one that I didn't mention,
Yeah.
everybody's Cooper Flag has taken the whole collegiate side by storm. His twin brother Ace will be here and playing with Greensboro Day School from North Carolina. So Cooper Flag's brother will be in town, and it wouldn't shock me if we see that family roll through and come see Ace play here. So
Do you know, because it sounds like you know the backstory of some of this. So how are they twins and Cooper's already in college and Ace is not?
yeah, he reclassified. Cooper did when he was at the high school level. He
Okay.
reclassified, and Ace has stuck with their original birth year. But he's a University of Maine commitment. So still a Division I basketball player. Ace is no joke. He can play.
Okay.
He's just not. There's one
He's
Cooper
not Cooper.
Flag. So
Not many people are Cooper Flag.
yeah, so I
Something else.
think and then there's others. Isaiah Harwell's a top 15 player that's committed to University of Houston. He's with Wasatch Academy out of Utah. The list goes on and on and on the
How,
guys' side.
how about on
There's
the women's side? Do you know
yeah,
any of
on
the
the
names?
women's side, we've got the most electric player in girls high school basketball, Giselle Gigi Banks from Ursuline Academy in Delaware. She won a state championship as a sophomore last year, led that team. They're going to be trying to go back to back, but she's got offers from the likes of South Carolina, Notre Dame, some other big ones out there, and I would expect UConn to be calling her real soon. But she's top 5 in the country, but she can play with the guys. She could play on the guys' side of the event, and she wouldn't miss a beat. So she's playing in the Civic Center. Actually, that's one of the 2 girls' games we have going on in the Civic Center on December 29th at 3:15 p.m. You can see her take on McDonough, actually, from Maryland as well. But Gigi she's the highlight on the girls' side of the event, and one that I think we will see some real spectators for.
Before we let you get out of here, because I know you got a lot more stuff, more important than pushing this event is working the event. But tell us a little bit about the history of the event, not all the way back, but the
Sure.
importance of Butch Waller and the fact that he's still involved in the tournament.
Yeah, yeah. The goal is always to make Coach Waller proud with everything that we do, and he started the event 44 years ago. We're on year 42 now. I love watching him talk about the event because you can tell he gets emotional about it, and he never imagined it would blow up into what it is now. I don't think any of us really could have predicted that. We had some plans and had some ideas and had a vision for what we wanted, but you got to put in the work and get lucky along the way for it to turn into what it is. And so Coach Waller, he still volunteers for us at the event. He is here the whole time. He runs the Wicomico High School site. He'll come over, coach his game, go back over, work the event. He's tremendous. He's been a tremendous asset to the event, to the community as a whole, to the state of Maryland. Really, he's the winningest public school high school basketball coach in the state. He's got over 900 wins. He's going for 1,000. He's on his way there. He's in his 59th season coaching, which is unbelievable in itself. So, yeah, Coach Waller has been a great mentor to me and many others in the area. But we love to make him proud with the event and what it's become. But really, the last 10 years is when it's ballooned into the size and scope that it is, and we've just tried to keep adding and improving it every year.
All right. Again, let's go over the details again. December 26th through the 30th, so Thursday through Monday, 140 teams, roughly 136 games. Ticket packages for $15 for 14 games. Can't beat that package. And there's all kinds of other packages. The way to buy tickets or inquire about tickets is gov challenge.org. And also there's a thing in there if you're interested in volunteering, the event always looking for volunteers. All right. Is parking easy to get once you get down there? Is it easy to?
Couldn't be easier. We got plenty of parking. There's nothing to worry about there. It's all free parking, plenty of spots on site at every venue. So that is not an issue at all.
James, I'm first time I've really gotten exposed to the event. I'd heard about it, but this year I've gotten to interview you 3 different times, and it's a real delight. And I'm really amazed at the growth of this event.
Yeah, we would love to see you down there. If you have any free time over that week, we'd
I'm
love to
going to
see
see if I can
Stan down
grab
here.
somebody, a good friend of mine who's a, a guy, basketball guy, and see if we can come down. All right.
Yeah, we'd love to have you.
All right. James Simmons, Executive Director of the Governor's Challenge basketball, high school basketball tournament taking place in Wicomico County at the Wicomico Civic Center, 5 other locations, December 26th through the 30th. Thanks, James.
Thanks a lot, Stan. Really appreciate you.